just gotta look around.
Well, it was hard to find. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, Larry. Hi, Liz. How is everyone? Hi, Henry. Hi, Sarah. I was trying to find my stream key. When you schedule a live, it's different. So I was frazzling myself, but I'm here now. Let me mute my TV. How is everyone? So you don't hear me a dozen times in the background. There we go. All right. I'm just going to jump right in. I am the last creator for today. We had, Kristy's not feeling well, and Robin went earlier, and then we had this 2-hour gap, and I decided to go an hour earlier, and then Bethwyn and I she decided that it was a good idea to send everyone over to Indiana Jones's page because she had a live scheduled today. So we didn't want that little gap, so for everyone's viewing pleasure, we sent everyone over there. And then I was kind of sort of waiting for her to finish, but she's not on a timeline. So I saw everybody jumping on, and I was like, oh gosh, she's not finished yet. What should I do? So I decided, by the way, my green hands. I have gloves on because I'm getting ready to use some stain. But anyway, all that said, welcome. I am Michelle with Design&Vine, and I am creating a pumpkin tonight for our All Things Fall event this evening, and I am the last creator. Here was our original lineup right here, and I'm just going to kind of work on this until I get it done. So I'm going to put the camera downward. Whoops, what am I doing? Okay, and you can see I have, well, let me remove me for a second. I'm all discombobulated, guys. When I remove me, you can see all of the little spindle wood cutouts, and I'm going to be creating a spindle pumpkin. And I just thought this was precious. The link is in the description of the video if you're interested. I think you can just get the spindles with the little fall tag and the little leaf and the stem that are going to kind of go like that for $14. And then if you want the board behind it, it's an extra $10, I think. And I'm just going to use some beads with this fall tag and hang it with some jute string, and then add a little raffia bow at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I would love to leave it just like this, but it's my understanding people like to see you. So I'm going to put me up in the bottom corner there, and if at some point anything isn't able to be seen, I'm gonna have to catch it on the comments, because yes, Joe is asleep. He is an early bird. He goes to bed early, and hey, Charlene, he's not here. And I know I'm on late tonight. I kind of requested that. So I'm gonna use this, this is Waverly. The Waverly, why am I losing what this is? Okay. The Waverly stain. It's leaving me what it's called. I put mine in a Dollar Tree bottle because it's just easier to use from this. I find I don't use too much when I use it this way. And I'm just going to go over this entire board first, and I'm probably going to use a paintbrush. I took this really wide sponge brush because I still can't find my makeup wedges. I don't know what I did with them. They're really best to use with these little spindles, but this is the same kind of sort of material, a sponge. So I'm just going to cut this and make a few for using different colors if I need it. And I'll probably hang on to this because it's a spindle and I can use it for something. But I'm just going to use a brush for this, and then I'm going to, let me get a big one, wipe it off with a Clorox wipe just to give a stained effect. And then I'm going to Mod Podge over that, and then I'm going to use Waverly White chalk paint, which is this. Okay, I will. Thanks, Gwen. So I'm using the Waverly White chalk paint over the Mod Podge to get a crackled effect, and then I'll sand that to kind of peel some of that off. So let me minimize me and show you. I have from Designs by Dina, I have this board that has the wood lines, the laser lines from one of those Glowforge machines. Designsbydina.org is where I got this from. She is a crafty friend of mine, and these little spindles come with, you can get just the spindles with the fall sign, the leaf, and the stem of the pumpkin for $14. And if you get the backboard to lay them on, to lay everything on as a, like you can use it as a, with an easel instead of a sign that hangs, it's an extra $10 for the board, so it's $24. And then I just have some little beads from Michael's. I have a whole canister back there, and I picked 3 of them out because they kind of look like pumpkins with the little lines in them. And I'm going to be using my triple thick Titebond, not triple thick, I'm sorry, Titebond Quick and Thick for gluing the spindles and the leaf and everything on. So I've got my colors picked out. We're going to be using the white. First we're going to be using the Waverly Stain, and I can't for the life of me think what this is called. You see how thin and nice that comes out of there? So you end up not using as much. In fact, I may need more. So I want my base to be brown, and that's going to show through the, that is going to show through the white after I crackle it. Wow, the wood is really absorbing it, so I'm going to use as much as I need here. And this is Waverly. Gosh, JJ, look that up for me real quick. I think it's Waverly Wax Stain, but I want to get the proper name for them. Antiquing Wax, that's what it's called. Waverly Antiquing Wax. That's what this brown stuff in the bottle is, okay? I just wasn't getting that antiquing word. So I may not have to wipe this off much, but I can still see my lines under here. But in case I couldn't, after the paint and everything is on, I kept the pumpkin in the order that it goes on the board so that I wouldn't get all confused on how to lay them down. Even though they are kind of graduated in size, I wanted to put them on the board how they came because I like the order. All right. So after I get this on, I like the antique look that this gives, especially with the crackle effect. Antique wax, not antiquing, antique. It was Googled, and that is the official name. Waverly Antique Wax. Oh, who did? Bethwin did? Thank you, Bethwin. I didn't realize you were there yet. All right, so I'm just going to give this, I'm going in the same direction. Say what? Yeah, yes, sir. Okay. Check my comments every now and again. Yes, yes, I shall. I just want this stained look on here. If you ever do decide to get these Dollar Tree bottles, and you want to put paint in them, make sure you have that cap on tightly and put your finger on top when you go to shake it. I've never spilled it, but I can see myself doing that, so make sure. So you can see, I can still kind of see those lines, but I think all of that is going to go away once I put the white on. All right, so I'm going to throw that away. I don't need my gloves anymore. And now I'm going to dry this, or make sure that it's kind of already soaked in and drying. I do have some pop of color shop paint in the color, let's see, in the color berry brown. I'll be doing the stem with that, and I also have pop of color Old Army green, or like I like to call it Old Marine Corps green. I'm a former Marine, and that's that color. For the leaf, I'm making a pumpkin. You see these spindles down here? And the little, hi Tracy, the leaf and the stem that goes on the top of the pumpkin. So this is what I'm making this evening, and it has a little sign, a little tag that came with it along with these beads. And right now I'm just preparing the surface that it's going to go on. I'm spreading some Mod Podge right now. I'm going to start with that. This dries clear, so you're not really going to see white on top of the brown. And this will give us our crackle effect. If you have a crackle medium, feel free to use that as well. I know I have one somewhere, but I like the effect that Mod Podge gives. So I kind of keep my Mod Podge handy all the time because it does give a great crackle effect. And it doesn't matter what direction you go with the Mod Podge. But it does have to be dry. So I'm going to dry this. Rinse my brush. Mute your sound if you please. And this is a glue medium, so I'm gonna make sure I'm moving it around. We'll probably finish off the back once I'm done with this, just so that it's finished all the way around. So instead of trying to wait and see if it's going to stick to my paper here, I'm just going to get up the extra Mod Podge so that it doesn't get glued down onto the paper on my turntable.
The first time Tracy, Pamela, and Gwen have been here.
Welcome, Gwen, Tracy, and Pamela. Hi, Pamela. Oh my goodness, welcome, welcome. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, everybody. There is a link. I typically use Junk Monkey Paint, so I keep that link in my descriptions. But I'm not using it this evening. I'm using Pop of Color and Waverly. Pop of Color tends to be a thinner medium. So I'm wanting some of this design to come through, and I was wanting a thinner paint for that reason, so. And hold it still here for a second, and I got some bubbles, but that's okay because we're going to put paint over this. And then we're going to crackle it anyway. Pop, pop, pop. And just don't hold your heat source still. Wow, that one doesn't want to pop. It's moving all over the place. Alright. We're actually dry. So now I'm going to take my Waverly white. Maybe. Ow. That hurt. Okay. Okay. Maybe I won't. Darn it. I can't get it open, guys. Maybe if I put a little heat on it. Hold on. It's on crooked. That's why it's not coming off. Jay, I may need your help, bud. Some man strength. I can't get this open. Oh gosh, do I have another one? I think I do. But if you can get this open for me, I'd appreciate it. So we are making a pumpkin. JJ, look, you got called for.
Here.
I'm weak. Thank you. It was a tight one. He said great. Like he almost couldn't get it too. So, all right. We don't want any of this messy stuff right here getting in our paint. All right. So I'm going to take the same brush. We are going to watch this crackle when I start to dry it. Now, the thicker you go with your top layer of paint, the more crackle you will get. Waverly is sometimes very thick. You can see how thick that is. Let's see if we have, whoa, enough here. I do want to go thick with this top layer. Because we want this to look like an old board that's been found in the basement, even though I don't have one. I wish I did. And it's been down there for like 30, 40 years, and it's just really old. It's been used for different things here and there. I think I need some new Waverly paint. That's what I need. This has some globs in it. We want crackle, but we don't want globs. Alright. I am going to sand this, so I'm not so worried about those. Those will come off in the wash. Pick up some extra paint from over there, and it'll be just enough to finish this off on this side. Maybe, maybe not. Get a little more. And now we want to find that brown underneath again. Charlie Brown, you're a clown. All right, back in the water. Who got what? Any score? Who got what? Let's see. I know she was singing. I was watching her. Crackling Rosie. Milk paint today from a sweet lady. Wow. You don't know anything about milk paint? If you want to, I mean, you can go to junkmonkeypaint.com. She sells milk paint, and I think she has a little description on her page about it. Really, really sweet lady. So, if you can't figure it out, Charlene, let me know. I'll text her and find out for you. So look, you see that crackling happening right there? Isn't that cool? Cool beans. Look at that. Crackle, crackle, crackle. I've got my paint set to too high, or my heat gun set to too high. Look at this, all the way down. Oh, it's crackling the lines where my things are gonna go, where my spindles are gonna go. How cool is that? So I am getting a little bit of bubbling, but I have to keep the heat on here in order for this to crackle properly. Look at that. Isn't that so cool? I'm pretty sure with milk paint, if you let it naturally dry, it crackles. I think that's the whole thing with it. It's just a really chippy paint. I could be wrong though. Oh yeah, look at that crackle. So I'm not really getting a whole lot in the center, but my pumpkin is going to go there, so there we go. This corner a little bit. Make sure my paint is good and dry. Now there's two different ways you can do this. I've seen people take just a tool, a metal tool that has an edge, a ruler, whatever you have handy, and just kind of go like this. And do you see how that took that little chunk off? So if you're looking for little chunks to be taken off, you can do this. I've never done it this way before. Kind of cool. Or you can thought I had my sanding board out, but I don't. I could just take a sanding board and go over it like this. And I think all the spots that were going to come up have come up. But this just gives it an extra antique look. So I'm going to go around the edges like so. Because I want that effect around the edges as well. I also want any excess paint to come off. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I couldn't tell you because I know all of Junk Monkey paint is non-toxic. So no matter what you buy from her, it's going to be non-toxic. So I think we've achieved that. I've been in the basement for a while, look. And now I'm going to set that aside. And we're going to get going on the next part. I do vacuum all of this up. I just don't like it to be like around my computer a whole lot. So, all right. So what am I going to do next? I'm not going to paint the fall sign. I'm going to leave it like is because, like it is, because it has a natural look to it. And it will match the raffia bow. So I'm going to move this aside. Yeah, I'll definitely be finishing this off. Like I did my football. I finished my football too. So I think what I'm gonna do so you can see better, I'm not gonna use my little board here. I'm gonna lay down a piece of paper real quick, okay? Because sometimes it's hard to see little pieces with that board, and I don't want it to confuse your view. Okay. Lord, I'm getting paint everywhere because it's on my hands. So let me just get off the excess and wipe this up so I make sure I don't, we have a runaway bead. Run away, run away. Yeah, there's some wet paint here. We don't want that. All right, so I'm just going to grab a piece of Dollar Tree paper. Okay. With scissors, because it's not tearing easily. There. I'm going to fold it over. I think this will make for a better surface. I'm sorry if this is making a lot of noise. I usually tape this stuff down ahead of time. I need to replace the paper on my surface there because it's looking pretty rough. I'm just going to use my Mod Podge bottle and my little vacuum to hold this down just enough so that I can start painting with my sponge and show you how it's easier to paint. So I was going to mix red and this color, golden yellow, and this really red, but it wasn't giving me the color that I wanted, so I think I'm just going to go with, excuse my bottle, pumpkin calabaza. Anita's. This is from Hobby Lobby, and that is the color 11140, pumpkin calabaza. I think calabaza is how you say pumpkin in Spanish, maybe. It's just pumpkin, the color pumpkin. Sorry. So I am going orange with these. And do you see how easy this is to paint with this little sponge? So easy. So easy. And the details are on this side, so that's all I want to do on that one. I am going to potentially distress this a little with some of the Waverly wax. And the paint will seep down into some of the design as you go. That's okay. Let me show you up close what I'm talking about. So it's like more prevalent right there, but the paint kind of needs to, I guess, dry into the lines there. So that one's next. I'm going to try to keep these in some kind of order around the paint here. This one's really cute. This little spindle. I don't know about you guys, but I have a hard time finding spindles. Like real big spindles. Like I try to find them around Easter time because they're kind of cool to use as carrots, right? Just in their natural state. But people craft with them all the time too, making like Christmas trees and things like that. In fact, I have a smaller, a similar version of this pumpkin in a Christmas tree that I'll be doing at some point too. So there we have a squiggly line. And this doesn't take much paint at all. I'm just brushing it on with this piece of sponge here. I have a hard time finding spindles anywhere. This one is gorgeous. Can you imagine this on a banister? Like how fancy that would be? I like fancy. I like ornate and fancy. It's just me. It's who I am. Alright, so I'm going to start another row going this way. A little paint goes a long way with this. Watch how cute this is going to come together. So cutie. A little bit more, I think, because I only need enough for 4 more spindles. Now, to be honest though, I haven't been, we have this huge antique shop here. This one goes here. And I didn't mix those up, did I? This one looks longer. Maybe not. Maybe it's the same size. There's a big, huge, like, warehouse antique shop that I've never been to, and I've lived in my city now for over 20 years. So I have no excuse other than almost 30 years. Yeah, you're right, Jay. I need to get there just to see what they have in case I ever am looking for something. So that's it for the orange, except I think I'm gonna leave this pumpkin, that darker kind of muted color there, and I'm gonna kind of go over the bead, the clearer beads, the runaway one too. Just dabbing this on. It'll dry quick and it'll have a little color to it. So we have that bead. Stay. And we will have this bead in orange, and then that one in its own kind of, it's kind of orange too. I know you probably can't see that on camera, but it has some kind of a color tint to it. I'm going to do this one too, because if nothing else, it'll be maybe a little darker than the other ones. I'm going to do all 3 so they match up. I just feel like it. They're cute because it shows the little lines in the natural color. Alright, now I'm going to throw this away. I'm going to grab another wipe because I'm going into another color now. I'm going to try to clean up my fingers here real quick. And then I'm going to use the Pop of Color Berry Brown and, what was it, Pine? Berry Brown and Old Marine Corps Green. We don't say Army in this house too often. Military green, how's that? That appreciates everyone. Because the Army, we need to thank them for their service too. We need to thank them all, right? All right. Green. Green is next. So I'm gonna shake this up. Watch how thin this is. Look at that. You see how thin this paint is? Very, very thin. I take my scissors and I'm just going to cut off another strip off my sponge. Dip it in. Whoa, that's way too much. Okay. And then I'm just going to rub this on. And you'll be able to see, you can see what I'm doing, right? You'll be able to see the detail here right through the paint, especially when that dries. You can see all the detail as it dries. So there we have the leaf. It's cutie. Put that over there, and I'm going to throw that away. Now, I've seen people do the stem on these green. I think Dina did hers green, but I think a pumpkin stem is brown, so I'm going to go with brown. Hopefully this doesn't seep out the side. Get that on there good and tight. And now I'm going to use this berry brown. Oh, this one has a little seal on it. Actually, I think I'm going to use the paint right off that and just put the lid right back on here. Cut off another piece of sponge. Save that other one. And just dab on this brown. This is a slightly different color brown than what's in the background on the board. So there's a little piece of wood wanting to come up there. So I'm just going to make sure I fill that in real well. Get that strip off. Are you all with me? Are you falling asleep? It's okay if you are. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams to you. I appreciate you joining me late at night. Hey Robin, how are you? Okay. Now we've got all our pieces. This is going to come together real quick. And just make sure they're dry. Put my Mod Podge away. And put my antique wax away. All right. I think we're dry already. So we need our tight bond now. And whenever I put my head down, the waterworks get to going. Okay. My board over here. Okay. So I totally cannot see very easily the lines. I don't know if you can tell, like right here, you can kind of see where the first one went and then the second one, and I think the third one goes there. Maybe the fourth one goes here. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and then I totally, maybe that's part of the 10th one. So I'm going to try to use that. I can see where the leaf is. I cannot see where the stem is at all. So we are going to just put this together. I'm going to move this aside. Put my scissors up. Grab my twine. I just used it yesterday. Here it is. I may go with a thinner twine for this. I think I'm going to use my Dollar Tree twine right here. Yeah, this will work better. I've got a bead threader. I'm going to put my little beads on. put my thread through the threader, like so. You see my little skater bite? Doesn't itch or anything because I got him before he actually got me, but he still left a mark. I'm going to pull my end through, whichever one there. There's my end. Pull the bead threader off, put that away. I definitely don't need this much string, but I do want my little fall sign on here. Tag, I keep calling it a sign. This is the sign. This is the tag. So that is going to hang like so. And you know what? I do want this to go back up through the beads now. And I think I can do that without my bead threader. Let's see. Just going to give this a little twist. No glue tonight, although I do have finger protectors now. There we go. Yeah, I won't be doing that again anytime soon. Burning myself. I'm very cautious now, till I forget again. I am going for a memory test, or neurology test, to see if my memory is normal for my age. Because me and my husband, unfortunately, I'm sure, I know you all have seen the commercials on TV about the Camp Lejeune drinking water. We both served during that time. And, contaminated water. Contaminated drinking water, yes. It had some really bad stuff in it. And unfortunately, that's where I got pregnant with my daughter, Tia. So she was subjected to it too, and we've had medical issues along the way. So here's our little tag, okay? And I'm just going to tie this at one end. This is going to be, actually, you know what? I do need my glue gun. I do need my glue gun. So I'm going to turn that on. Just a little knot. Cut that off. I'm going to use my low temp though, because I don't know that I want to use Titebond for that. All right, so I'm going to start with this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the board. This one had paint on the sides and it's a little wet. All right, then this one. That way there, if you guys are really tired and you want to hop off, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, but you can kind of get the gist of what it's going to look like. Making sure I don't have excess paint anywhere. Where's, oh, whoops. My stem, I think this is the middle one. Oh, I got a paint dripping, hold on. I did not paint the sides because I like the darker look. So this is the center one right here. So our stem is going to go right bumped up to the leaf right there, like that. And then I'm going to take these two, excuse me, and I believe this one is next. Yes, indeedy. And then this one goes right here. How cute is this, guys? And then this one goes right here. Let me turn it around to you. Let me move this out of the way. I know I said I'm going to distress it. I'm going to do that after the live. And then take a picture so you can see it. I've got some paint up here. I will either, oh, I got it. Okay. You turn this around. All of this is going to get glued down. And then we're going to have fall hanging like that. And this will be up, twisted underneath this raffia bow, like this. So that is going to be the end result right there. How stinking adorable. I can now work it out easily. You are a sweetie. I object. Hold on. What are you objecting to? Yes, it is the shape of a pumpkin using laser wood. Yep, using a glow forge. Designs by Dina. Your husband has gone to sleep. Had to go fish box out of recycling, and it says 2 pounds 5 ounces. Oh, for the milk paint. Oh, ice cream does sound yummy, Sarah B. Yes, ma'am, Pamela. Do you see the pumpkin now? Thank you, Phyllis. Isn't it cute? So, guys, if you want to hop off, that's fine. All I'm going to do from this point forward is I'm gonna take a real tiny brush like this, and I'm just gonna go along the edges and distress with actually, I have a distressing ink pad, yes. I won't even use a brush. I'm going to take this Distress Oxide. I have a brown one too, so I may have to look for my brown one. This one is black, and all you do is take the little piece and go along the top edges. It's like an ink pad, okay, but it's a distressing pad. This is by Tim Holtz, I believe. Distress Oxide, Ranger Industries, Tin Falls, New Jersey. Well, this is Ranger. I thought I had Tim Holtz. I've got him somewhere. I've got a stack of his. This one is Ranger Distress Oxide. So you just go along the top edges of these, and it gives it more of a distressed look. Now, what you can use a small brush for, if you want to, is then to go back in with some Waverly White and just kind of tie in the white background by just lightly stroking white here and there on the pumpkin as well. So the pumpkin form is shaped by the little spindles getting smaller as you go out from the center. And when I glue this down, they'll all stay in place. And I'm going to be using the Type-On Quick and Thick. I highly recommend this. It dries fast. Just don't get it on your fingers. If you do, just wipe it off quickly. It's not like super glue where your fingers are going to stick together. You can keep a little wipe handy or a wet paper towel and wipe it off as you go, because I typically, let me just glue one down and show you what I'm talking about. Well, what I'll do, because I'm not going to distress the leaf. Well, I'm not going to distress this, I don't think. So I'll go ahead and get this down. What I typically do when I glue is I put a little in the center, and then I take my finger intentionally, and it's okay. It doesn't dry that quickly, but it does dry. Like once this is down, it'll be down. It won't move. So I'm just going to kind of put this right in the center here for the top of my pumpkin. And now that's down. Okay? See? It won't move no matter what I do. So, but the glue is not on my finger. It's a little wet right now, but it's not on my finger at all. That's a piece of fuzz. So you don't have to worry about it getting on your finger like super glue, but it is a tight bond, and it does work quickly to hold two surfaces. So I highly recommend this. It's awesome. There's a wood one, and then there's this Blue Label multi-surface one. And I am not an affiliate with any of the stuff that I'm using tonight. Not with Dina, not with any of the paints or anything like that. I use what I like, and I don't have any affiliates or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing these down. And if you need to head off to Dreamland, feel free. Or you can stay and chat if you'd like. I'm going to put my little knife back. And I am going to turn this back around toward me. I think that I am, because I don't want to take up time from the live. I'm going to just use the black. It's not going to be that dark and that much that it's going to make a difference, but let me just show you what it does. So it's just giving a tiny bit of a distressed look to the edges of this. And you can go in really hard with it, or you can stay really light like I am. You just touch it like that, and then it's good to go back down on the surface. So I'm going to grab the center one first. I'm going to distress this around the edges just a little bit to give it that grungy look. You can see right along the edges there. You can go harder in some areas and lighter in others. I'm going to put glue on the back of this. The reason why I wipe it with my finger is because it dries clear, but it can ooze out along the sides if you're heavy-handed with it and you end up putting a little too much. Plus, I like for all of the edges to be covered. So I'm kind of just moving it out to the edges, and then you avoid the oozing as well. Okay, so I'm going to line this up and set that down. Perfect. And then I'm going to, see, I left it on my finger and it didn't stick, it didn't stay under my nail or anything. Now you're really going to probably see the edges on this one. I even got it in the middle there, and that's okay. It's just like the banister was used over time, and it got a little just so you can see what I'm doing. It got a little distressed. So you can see what I'm doing there. Now I'm going to glue this one down. I love spindles. They're just so decorative and so pretty to me. Making sure to get to my edges. And then I'm going to line it up at the bottom here where I see my little line, and then just lay it down. And just keep in mind, if you do what was I going to say? Wow, that's why I'm getting the memory test. If you do something, sorry guys, I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, if it does ooze out the side, not if you do, that's why I got thrown off. Just a little bit, that's okay, because it dries clear. That's what I was going to say. Finish your thought, Michelle. Okay. So I mentioned the water, contaminated water at Camp Lejeune, because memory loss is one of the things that they say can happen with the chemicals that were found in there. So I'm kind of battling that, and Joe is too. Just hold that down for a second. Yep, that's not going anywhere. I got that a little crooked, but that's okay, because I said so. Oh my goodness. Good night, Phyllis. You're probably gone already. Thank you, Sarah. Oh yes, you could use the stamp pads to distress too. And think about it, like if you have some Halloween product, so I'm kind of wiping some of this black off because it's starting to get on the spindles in areas that I didn't really intend to, so I'm just going to wipe my hands down real quick. Okay, so I have these three left. pretty strong feeling Miss Sarah doesn't like this distressing, because she's more of a modern girl and she doesn't like the grungy look. Not that she doesn't like it, it's just not her favorite. Right. You're not. That is true, true, true. So see, I got a little glue there. I took it off with my finger, but I'm not really worried about it because it will dry clear. I'm just trying to make sure I'm lined up here. I don't want them to be too crooked or anything. That's just a crackle effect right there. Next. As they get tinier, you use less and less glue, just little tiny lines. And the bottle, the thing that I like about that is that the bottle is easy to squeeze, unlike, oh my gosh, if you've ever used E6000, that stuff is very difficult to squeeze out of the tube, and that's in a tube, and it's still, it could be me, just because I have weaker, I tend to be weaker, my upper body isn't that strong. Let go of me, I say. Ooh, look at the edge on that. Isn't that pretty? It just makes it pop. I don't want that to smudge because it looks so neat. I mean, it's okay if it does, but it did look pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to lay this one down. Perfect. All right. Now we're going to go to this side of the center. I'll cover that for a second. I need to read up on that distressing ink because I think if you dry it out, you can just like spray it to get it to come back to life, but I'm not 100% sure. I would have to look that up. Okay, next we are going to just slide these over real quick. Distress. Actually, I may distress all of these right now, and then I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to distress all of these right now. Keep them in order and then close my ink pad. Oh, I love how that one came out. Okay. Turn it around. I love that. It just kind of softens the edges as well, especially when you have like a square like this, but you're making a pumpkin and you want it to look a little softer. Distressing kind of does that for you. Okay, next and last, all right, I'll put my little stamp pad aside. I made a mess of it with my hands. All right. Just getting off the excess so it doesn't come off on the front of my spindles. I'm distressing my mat too. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do my little fall tag too, because it already has some brown on it, but so that it kind of ties it all together, I'm going to add a little bit to this as well. And I could even do my beads if I wanted to. So that's what we're working with the fall. Go in with a little bit of the distressing on the pumpkins. And then take a wipe, just kind of move that around a little bit so it's not so stark. Like so. Okay. Okay, let's get these glued down, and then we will add our tag and our bow. This one goes right here. Yep. Right there. And then this one. Good night, Liz. Thank you, Sarah. Sweet dreams. Enjoy the moments that make you smile. That's going to be my new motto.
I'm going to punish Ella tomorrow.
What did Ella do? She what? Ooh, she had an accident in your room. Uh-oh, Sarah. JJ's coming at your Ella. Let's see. Excuse me, guys. All right. Did you step in it, Jay? Yeah. I'm thinking that's the only way he figured out it was there. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Yikes. We have a pet carpet shampooer, and we do that frequently. But I'm thinking I may need to get someone professional in here soon, just to kind of, you know, back up what we do. If I'm not careful, I will glue my fingers together here. Alright, so this one I can only see where the top is, so I'm going to line it up from the top. Like so. I'm going to get a new wipe, guys, because these are kind of drying out on me. But we are almost done. And I'm going to wash my brushes offline, of course, and sit down and relax for a bit because I have to unwind. I'm a night owl anyway, so. All right.
Did you get it?
No, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I said hoot hoot.
Oh. Thinking I might want to do a little bit bigger knot here and then trim off the edge. Because I don't quite need so much. How cute would it have been if this was on the other side? Let me show you. If fall was on the flip side, and I could have put the tag kind of going opposite the leaf. I don't know, maybe not. For now, it's just gonna, my goodness. I'm gonna kind of bury it down in the extra area here. I think I'm gonna take the extra because we don't need it. I'm going to get my finger protector. Lessons learned, right? So where do I want this to be? I want this to kind of be right in here. So I'm going to just do that, and then we will give that a second, and then I will add glue to the back of my raffia bow. And I made this ahead of time because, Lord, y'all, I'd have had this all, I got it all over my floor instead of all over here. But this stuff is messy to work with. It's the kind of thing that you love, but you hate to work with it because it's so messy. So messy. Alright, now, where do I want the bow? I think I just want the bow right there. And this will stick really well because it's literally just straw. So it's wood to wood, basically. It's me. There we have it. There's our pumpkin. So you can see all of the detailing on there, on the edges, the distressing, and the leaf shows just enough, the stem shows just enough, and you can even glue this into position if you wanted to so that it doesn't move, like so. And I like the distressing around the tag as well. That came out really good. Now you could take this and put a bead hanger on it, or you can take one of these, like so, yikes, I've got one of my little wood pieces coming up here, so I'm going to put some glue down underneath that, wipe off the extra, and just hold it down for a second, and that will dry. But I want to make sure it stays, so give me just a second here. Let me show you what I'm doing. So this little piece was popping up a little. I didn't get enough glue under it, and I just added a little bit more. I kind of went overboard. You can see it oozing. It will dry clear. I just don't want it there. So I have this little thingy that I can put it on, and this is wood as well. This little stand, I just painted it black for the other thing that I have setting on it right now, which is a little boo sign. It's hard to hold and show you, but this is how it would be on here, just like so, on the back. And I'll probably paint the entire back side white. I won't crackle it or anything, but I'll just show you again. This is what we have. Cutie cutie, with the little fall tag right there. Our little raffia bow flailing in the wind. And all the cute little spindles. So we have a spindle pumpkin. And I think I'm going to glue mine with just a little bit so that it attaches right over here to this spindle and stays put. Like so. So I just put a little tiny bubble of hot glue down. And that's all I have this evening, y'all. So thank you so much for joining me later this evening. I like it a whole lot better, but you will probably see Kristy back in this spot when she is feeling better. And I appreciate you all joining me tonight and for putting up with the wait and all the things. God bless you all. And again, my new expression when I get offline is going to be to enjoy the moments that make you smile. I think that's important. Those are the moments that you'll remember the most. And oh, thank you, baby. And you'll cherish the most. So God bless you all. Have a good night, and thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.